lightning bolt shot from the sky and pierced my flesh. The lightning bolt is the universal symbol for a stroke. My stroke has left me paralyzed all down my left side, shoulder to toes. My head and my neck are free, and I don't have a touch of aphasia, for which I am so grateful, because who would I be if I couldn't talk? A friend says that everything in life happens for a purpose. Everything has a reason. And she suggests that perhaps the reason for my stroke is to allow me to retire my position as activity director for the universe. She throws in words like letting go and patience and gratitude and surrender. I know she's well-meaning, but those aren't the words I need now. I need words like focus and courage and strength and success. That's what will get me out of this wheelchair and back on my feet. And if my stroke has a purpose, I'm sure it will be revealed to me, all in good time. My doctors say I'm very lucky. I've had a mild stroke. But let me tell you something. Going from full speed ahead to a dead halt in a matter of seconds is not what I call a lucky experience. However, I am doing well in rehabilitation. I can move my fingers. I can lift my arm. I can wiggle my toes, and I can jiggle my foot up and down. I'm a regular one-man band. My therapist, a handsome young man of 28, is very pleased with me. However, as I'm much older, I say to him, look, we've got to speed up this rehabilitation process. Otherwise, I'm going to recover my mobility just in time to walk to my funeral. This is the kind of remark that has identified me to the staff here as sweet or cute, which confuses the hell out of me because those are words that have never been used in reference to me in my life. Even when I'm my most angry, my most intransigent, my most sarcastic, they chuckle and pat me on the head. I feel like little Miss Mary Sunshine. Yesterday, there was an attendant in my room, and I said to her, I really hate to interrupt someone who was so profoundly blessed with the ability to do nothing, but would you mind cranking up my bed? And she laughed. I've begun to doubt my ability to communicate, but then I remember, in order to communicate, there must be someone to communicate with. Someone with some modicum of intelligence, some small blip in the old brain scan. And as that seems to be in short supply here, I'll allow them to treat me like their cutie pie, while I devise new and wondrous ways to break their balls. I must temper this with some judgment, however, because I'm dependent on these people for everything. And it doesn't take long to recognize the ones with a vein of cruelty, barely restrained by their need for employment. One would think with half a working body, one could do half of one's life, but not so. I had to be sat in this chair, for example. And if I become uncomfortable during the day, I have to wait for them to come and move me. I can't move myself. This side feels like it weighs a ton. I can't dress myself. Eating is difficult. Even reading a book is hard. You need two hands. You need one hand to hold the book and the other to turn the pages. I'm bathed, toweled, and diapered like a baby. And the ultimate crunch comes, of course, when one has to remove one's bodily wastes. Haven't I put that delicately? But let me tell you, you haven't lived until you've been sat on a toilet. And then those two women who sat you there stand around and wait for you to do your business. And you so frequently find you can't. You've mistimed liftoff. I try to cover my embarrassment by making bad jokes like, I guess this ATM isn't taking deposits. Or, I'm sorry, this isn't a more moving experience. But then the ultimate degradation, when you have to be cleaned up after you complete your business. Any animosity I feel to the staff here is somewhat mitigated by their willingness to do this horrible job. And some do it, a rare few, with much grace and patience and kindness. This lack of sovereignty over my own body and the concurrent need to have everything done for me makes me in turn angry, defiant, and despairing. The nurses keep asking me if I'm depressed. Depression is a very common symptom for stroke victims. I wonder why. They want me to see the social worker. Well, I've had a look at the social worker, Miss Ames, and I'm sure she's all of 21 years old and looks like she has the life experience of a newt. So I say to her, no, thank you. I'll struggle through this by myself. But I'm not by myself. My best friend Wally visits me every day at 4 o'clock. Wally is as gay as a maypole and twice as colorful. At 63, he still has his dancer's body, which he shows off to great effect with tight jeans and T-shirts with cheeky messages on them like, I suck socks. Or my favorite, a good meringue is hard to find. I make sure that my chair is in the corridor at 4 o'clock to watch his entrance as he charges through the door and swishes down the hall, every eye on him. I just want to stand up and applaud. Well, I guess that's the sound of one hand clapping. But Wally isn't with me the long nights when I lay awake in bed and wonder if I'll ever walk again. Or worry that I'm not making enough progress, because if you don't progress,